loved by fans. These 10 underrated blaxploitation kung fu movies are filled with secret scandals, crazy stunts, and real martial arts legends. From topless fight scenes to mafia takedowns, each film hides wild stories. And the last movie on this list? It might be the most explosive of them all, with a bonus twist. Starting with number 10, Hot Potato. Jim Kelly stars in Hot Potato, a film directed by Oscar Williams and released in 1976. Clocking in at 87 minutes, it's also known as Twist the Tiger's Tail. Kelly not only takes the lead role, but actually arranged his own fight choreography. The setting is wild. The action unfolds in Chiang Mai, Thailand, as Kelly's character, named Jones, is dispatched to rescue a U.S. senator's daughter from the jungle fortress of villain Carter Rangoon. The plot includes man-eating tigers, a fake hostage swap, and even a grotesque sidekick named Rhino, a food-obsessed Texan who provides comic relief. Fun fact, it's frequently billed as an unofficial sequel to Black Belt Jones, sharing many of the same producers and giving Kelly a chance to reprise that action hero aura on international soil. Next is number 9. The Human Tornado. Rudy Ray Moore returns in The Human Tornado, the 1976 sequel to Dolomite, this time under the direction of Cliff Rockamore. Running about 91 to 96 minutes depending on the version, the film hit theaters in mid-1976 and rolled out across major U.S. cities like Los Angeles and New York. The story begins with a shocking betrayal. Dolomite is framed for murdering the sheriff's wife after she has an affair with him. He flees to California.
This is Los Angeles, California,
where he tangles with mob boss Joe Cavaletti. Kidnapped dancers, corrupt cops, and a revenge plot all collide. Rudy Ray Moore co-produces, weaving in his signature blend of risque humor, kung fu moves, and outrageous one-liners. The film's genre fusion, raunchy comedy meets martial arts, is rare, and its wild cult legacy inspired Eddie Murphy's fascination, as he later starred in Dolomite Is My Name. Let's move on to number 8, Cleopatra Jones. How does a 6-footer fashion model become a karate-kicking secret agent in the 70s? And why did that matter then? Tamara Dobson stands 6 feet 2 inches tall and lands her first starring role as Cleopatra Cleo Jones in 1973. She's a government super agent masquerading as a high-fashion model, cracking skulls in a silver-black 73 Corvette Stingray. Every prop and outfit feels like power, a starburst of femme power wrapped in couture. The movie runs around 103 minutes in most prints and earned several $1 million in US and Canadian rentals. Impressive for its mid-budget production, released by Warner Brothers critics like Kevin Thomas praised its slick pacing, while scholars highlight how it gave Black women a rare cinematic hero who's strong, intelligent, and unapologetically stylish. Coming in at number 7, Death Dimension. What happens when you mix kung fu heroism with a scientific plot to freeze humanity, and how low does that body count go? Death Dimension, also known as Freeze Bomb or Icy Death, among several alternate titles, hit screens in 1978 with a runtime of around 90 minutes. Directed by B-movie legend Al Adamson, it stars Jim Kelly as Detective Ash, Harold Sakata, the notorious Odd Job, as the crime boss, the Pig, and even includes George Lazenby, a Bond alumnus, as Captain Gallagher. The plot unfolds like sci-fi noir. A weather control device capable of freezing people to death gets misused. The scientist hides the device plans under his assistant's skin before sacrificing himself. Kelly's character chases her through Reno and Los Angeles, featuring car chases, explosions, and martial arts showdowns that mix sci-fi gadgetry with kung fu spectacle. On to number 6, The Tattoo Connection. What happens when Hollywood's coolest martial artist chases a diamond through Hong Kong streets? And why is this chase still shocking today? The film drops Jim Kelly as Lucas, a sharp-tongued insurance investigator sent to recover the stolen North Pole Star Diamond. Directed by Lee So-nam and released in 1978, it runs about 90 minutes. On screen, Kelly navigates smoky nightclubs, neon-lit docks, and fight scenes showcasing Jim Kelly against Taekwondo ace Tan Tao Liang, with Bruce Leung and Bolo Yeung adding extra firepower. The infamous Bolo Yeung plays the bruiser Tan Yu, trading blows with Kelly in 2 climactic showdowns. Fun trivia: the film was sometimes marketed as Black Belt Jones 2, though it's not a direct sequel. Just clever marketing playing off Kelly's earlier fame. Now spotlighting number 5, Black Dragon's Revenge. What if Bruce Lee's death becomes a mystery wrapped in martial arts fever? And how real is the legend behind Ron Van Clief? Ron Van Clief, born January 25, 1943 in Brooklyn, wields black belts in 5 different disciplines and competed in over 900 tournaments during a 40-year career. In The Black Dragon's Revenge, 1975, he plays a fictionalized version of himself, a former Marine, decorated fighter, and detective, hired by a mysterious millionaire to track down a legendary martial arts manual tied to Bruce Lee, a plot that played directly into the Bruceploitation craze that followed Lee's 1973 death. The plot hinges on a lost finger-fighting manual allegedly penned by Bruce Lee, prized by rival gangs and cultists. Van Clief heads to Hong Kong, teaming up with Charles La Pantera Bonet. They spar through alleyway skirmishes, snake-throwing assassins, and high-tension beachfront brawls. The film runs roughly 90 minutes, a fast-moving, low-budget production that gives it a raw grindhouse edge. Let's turn to number 4. Bamboo Gods and Iron Men. Why does a honeymoon in Hong Kong become a fight for ancient power story? And what's hidden inside a Buddha statue worth global stakes? Released in 1974, Bamboo Gods and Iron Men runs 96 minutes, directed by Cesar Gallardo and produced by Cirio H. Santiago, one of the Philippines' most prolific exploitation filmmakers. James Iglehart stars as Cal Jefferson, a prize fighter who, on honeymoon with wife Shirley Washington in Hong Kong, rescues a mute Chinese man from drowning. A carved Buddha they purchase becomes a well-lit key in a madman's global conspiracy. Inside hides an ancient scroll coveted by criminals who believe it could grant them great power. Produced by American International Pictures, the film blends action, comedy, and kung fu, with Philippine star Vic Diaz and comic relief from Chiquito. Moving up to number 3, Dynamite Brothers. Could a chance arrest spark a brotherly showdown and a street-level assault on a drug cartel? Dynamite Brothers, directed by Al Adamson and released in 1974, the film runs about 90 minutes in the US with some international prints slightly longer. Timothy Brown as Stud Brown, formerly of NFL fame, enmashes spear chucker teams with Alan Tang as Larry Chin, a Chinese kung fu expert searching for his lost brother. Filming spans Watts, Los Angeles, and San Francisco, with villainy incarnated by James Hong and corrupt cop Aldo Ray. Producer Cirio H. Santiago and composer Charles Erland, whose soundtrack dropped under Prestige Records, imbue the film with the soul jazz grit it deserves. Brown and Tang crusade through gang warfare, drug dens, and snake pit confrontations in a plot that mixes brotherly betrayal and gritty street resiliency. At number 2, we've got Black Fist. What price will a street fighter pay when loyalty, family, and vengeance collide in dark city alleys? Released in the mid-1970s, Black Fist, also known as Bogard, runs around 87 to 94 minutes, depending on the cut, and features Richard Lawson as Leroy Fisk, a bare-knuckle brawler hustling to support his family. When mob boss Logan, played by Robert Burr, and racist cop Heineken, played by Dabney Coleman, exploit Leroy's ring winnings, his dream of opening a nightclub crumbles. Then tragedy strikes. A car bomb kills Leroy's wife and brother-in-law, sparking an all-out revenge quest. With Philip Michael Thomas as Fletch and Boom Boom, and Annazette Chase as Florence, the cast threads tension through emotional dialogue and gritty street fights. Laundering violence with sorrow, Leroy pushes through Los Angeles' underbelly, rising through rounds of back alley brawls that teeter from brutal to symbolic. Finally, at number 1, 3 the Hard Way. Jim Brown plays Jimmy Late, Fred Williamson is Jagger Daniels, and Jim Kelly as Mr. Keys share the screen under Gordon Parks Jr.'s direction in this 1974 blaxploitation thriller. Running 97 minutes theatrically and 89 on early home video cuts, it kicks off with a harrowing scene. One of their friends escapes a secret lab revealing a poison that kills only black people, and then dies in Jimmy Late's arms. Brown's Jimmy is a record producer. Williamson's Jagger is a Chicago businessman. Kelly's Mr. Keys earns respect just by being called Mr. Together, they must stop a white supremacist plot headed by Monroe Feather, played by Jay Robinson, aiming to contaminate water supplies in Washington, D.C., Detroit, and Los Angeles. The film features the Impression soundtrack, title track 3 The Hard Way, in vivid style. Oversized collars, platform shoes, explosive car chases, and provocative sequences of women used as part of the villain's schemes. Cinematographer Lucien Ballard captures both sleek glamour and gritty streets, while the stunt work delivers high-octane mayhem. This movie sells empowerment. In 1974, seeing 3 black action stars take on and defeat a genocide plot? Radical. It's rare, bold, and packed with such unforgettable moments that decades later, fans still quote the "we're going to save all of the human race" lines. Thanks for watching. If you love hidden film history and wild cult classics, check out our other videos packed with forgotten gems. Don't miss out. Hit subscribe and keep exploring with us. The next story is even crazier than this one.